Hey there, everybody. So I saw something on the Illuminateers. There was something mentioned the other night on Monday about what people are bringing to the DLC. Now, obviously, as a content creator, I have to bring a little bit more gear just so that I'm prepared. Last time, I just brought like a little selfie stick and my phone and some microphone stuff and everything, and it worked out okay. But this time I figured I would kind of upgrade things a little bit, just to, to try to make the quality of the content a little bit better, make it a little bit easier on me. Now, it's not lighter, unfortunately, but I'm not going to be carrying all of this every single day. So to start off with, I just have one of these generic black backpacks. You can see all my lovely little charms and everything on there. They are super noisy, so if you hear somebody walking around the DLC in Richmond, clacking and all that kind of stuff, it's probably me. Okay. So let me start off with some of the main gear that I have here. Okay, so these Kamika headphones, or not headphones, microphones. These have been great so far. I use them on all my videos. I've done interviews with them. I actually did interviews at DLC Milwaukee with these. These are super great. It comes in a case like this. It actually charges the things as they're sitting in the case. You charge the case, so it's got a little battery in there. But the nice thing about it is that it has a receiver, and it has 4 of these little guys. So these are all the microphones, and it comes with all the little fuzzies to put on the end to kind of help with the wind and everything. But you can see on the inside here, it's actually spots for charging. So all this will be charging as the stuff is inside of the case. So one of the things that I have, because of the way that this all fits together with my my tripod, is some USB cables, some really small ones like this. So basically they plug into the end of the receiver here, and then the other side plugs into my phone. That's kind of my primary recording method. It's got the front and back camera, which are roughly the same quality, which is super nice, and it's super convenient because then I only have to carry the one thing, and I can do some basic video editing kind of stuff on there. That's what I did for Milwaukee. I actually recorded some of the interviews, and then I used CapCut to go in and make the actual videos, add some sound, kind of tweak some settings and everything. And then I could just post it directly up to whatever socials I wanted to. If you haven't seen those, go ahead and go back and look earlier in the channel. There's a playlist for all of those. I think there's 6 or 7 of them. Sorry. So go and check those out. You can kind of get an idea of the quality. That was with let's see. I don't know if I have it in here. That was with the old selfie stick. One of the problems with that one is it's a relatively cheap model. And so it's not something that I would recommend. There's tons of them on Amazon. There's tons of them all over the place, whatever your favorite, shopping site is. But just make sure they're a little more sturdy looking. This one, because of the weight of my phone, when I would hold it up, it would just kind of like go sideways a little bit. So I had to kind of compensate and try not to move it too much. Otherwise, the picture would kind of rock back and forth. So yeah, that's perfect. That actually, the receiver for this actually clips onto the side of my tripod, my new one that I got. So this is the new one. Again, all this is linked down in the notes for this video. So this one actually is like a huge, big extending tripod. It's got like a nice solid base on it and everything that, that folds out so you can easily make it into a tripod and make it, set it wherever you need to. The phone holder, however, on the top here, the mount, this was separate. The one that this came with was actually pretty plasticky and not super great. That was in the reviews. And so I went ahead and ordered one of these. This is actually metal. And it's got some nice like locking stuff here on the back, so that you can change the aspect, the, horizontal versus vertical, and it like locks in. and it's the usual kind of like stretchy, you put your phone in there. I have a S23 Plus, which is on the larger side, and it fits in here perfect. So it's nice, and it actually comes with, not that I really plan on using it, but it has a little remote that kind of slides in right there. Once you Bluetooth it to your phone, then you can use that to, start and stop your video or whatever you want to do with it. So that's a new addition this time. Let's see what else. Oh, my other fun toy that I just got. So this is one of the portable handheld gimbal devices. Again, plug your phone into it. You just mount it on the top here. But the cool thing is that one of these is, you can hear it starting up there. So it actually does, if you're not familiar with what a gimbal does, it actually keeps your phone relatively stable. So if you're moving around, it's not going to be that whole jittery kind of thing that you might see from other videos. This one, I again linked in the show notes. But once you connect it with the Bluetooth on this, you can actually take this out too. So you can have this and be able to control your phone and the app that's included with the gimbal. You can control up and down. You can change the aspect ratio so that it, flips horizontal if you want to, and then that, back to the vertical stuff. There's all sorts of things, and then just hit the record if you want to. It also has a basic kind of tripod here at the bottom. So it's not, it's not anything fancy, but if you do need to put it on a table, you can. But this has been super great so far. I haven't really gotten to try it, in practice yet. But it does fold down real nice and small. So it's a little hefty because it's got a battery and it's got a motor and everything in it. But it's really not too bad. And USB-C charging on the side there. Let's see. What else here? So now we get down to the important stuff. So I have this one deck box. This is a Vault X one. It's a nice small single deck one. What I usually end up doing is keeping extra sleeves in here. So when I go to the event, if I do like a draft or sealed or something, this gives me a little extra space to be able to put those cards in and, take them back with me. The nice thing is that, it can just stay there and it can have those extra sleeves in it, just in case I need them. And when I get into like a draft or a sealed event, I have those extra sleeves. I don't have to go to one of the vendors and buy a deck box or buy a box of sleeves whenever I get up there. So that's pretty nice. It's handy, it's small. And if I do happen to want to take another deck with me, I can, and just have that option. My other deck box that I have, though, is this Card Guardian. I tried to look for these, like this specific model, and they don't actually have it for sale anymore. But I really do like it. This is the one that I use primarily for League, because it's nice. It actually has the two boxes inside of it, which is super nice. You've got enough room for one Lorcana deck, some extra sleeves. I've got some, unsleeved cards here from the set champs the other day. But then the other nice thing is that it also has a little section here in the middle, and a lot of these deck boxes do have this. And I think I actually will link one that's very similar to this one. It's just not Card Guardian specifically. But it does have a nice little tray here in the middle where you can keep your dice and and have all that super handy, so that if you really wanted to, you could just set your bag someplace off on the side, and you have all your stuff that you need right here in this one box. Now with both of the decks in there, it is pretty heavy, as you can imagine, but it works pretty well. So next up is this is the Ultimate Guard playmat container, guard, whatever you want to call it. I wanted something that was a little bit more solid. There's some of them out there that are they're plastic and they're rigid, but they're not like if somebody stepped on it, it could really damage it. So this one is, this one's pretty good. It's got the nice flip top and everything, and you can kind of see, there's my mat inside there. It's my green Hades mat in there, which is the one I'll be taking. But it's super nice. It's nothing fancy, but it works. And I've had it for a while now, and no cracks or nothing like that. It's been to a couple of DLCs with me, so it's been good. And let's see. Oh, this one. This is the selfie stick thing that I was mentioning earlier. It's really nice and compact. And it flips up. You can put your phone and stuff in there. It actually has a little light on it that doesn't really do much, honestly. I mean, if you have it like right here in front of you, it might light up stuff. It does, extend pretty well. Uh, it does have some nice, like little kind of spindly legs for the tripod, which is nice because then it's pretty lightweight and it can actually stand. You can see they go out pretty far. So it actually stands pretty well on its own. Unfortunately, it is a little flimsy. It's worked, if I needed something super light, like I said, there's a lot of these kind of things on Amazon. And most of them will also have the adapter here on the top so that you can screw on a camera mount or whatever that you want to, so that you can have a little bit of the flexibility and not have to worry about just using this part of the camera mount for holding your phone or whatever. I used it the other day at the Set Champs before mounting a GoPro on the top of this. It works okay. If the table's bumped and stuff like that, then it's up to the camera to compensate for the motion. So, and finally, let me get this out of the front here. No, nope, too many pockets. That's the other thing. Make sure you have something that has a decent amount of pockets, but not like a ton of them. Especially if you're going to be like digging through it. You also want to make sure that you have have enough room for snacks and everything. It's definitely recommended, especially if you're going to be spending a long day at the DLC playing in the main event, the competitive event, or if you're doing side events and you don't really have enough time to kind of stop and get something to eat. So given that I have all of this lovely gear with me, obviously, I can't be sitting and having it plugged in all the time because I need to be mobile. So one of the things that I have invested in is actually a really large battery. I like this one partially because it has this strap on it. So if I want to, have it on my hand and be able to connect stuff to it, it's a lot easier than having to like hold the battery and the camera and all that other stuff. And it has a lot of different hookups on it. USB-C, USB-A, and it charges pretty fast. This kind of battery, I think this is a 50,000 one. I kind of forget. But this kind of battery can actually fully charge a laptop at least once. So you can imagine, even though I have all the camera equipment and everything with me, I have more than enough power for it. So, and that, and I also carry a bunch of like USB-C cables because basically everything that I have is all USB-C chargeable, which is nice because then I don't have to carry a bunch of different kind of cables and everything. I do want to show you really quick. I mentioned that the Kamika mounts right on the side of my little thing here. So if I'm filming vertically like this, the nice part about it is it has these mounts on either side that just let me clip it in right there. And so then I can use those short USB-C cables to connect to my phone, which is super nice. And this is metal, and so it's nice and sturdy. You don't have to worry about it cracking or anything like that. And I think the height on this is 5.5 feet. So it's more than enough if you are setting up a tripod like I'm planning on doing, and doing interviews. I have my gimbal and everything that I can use for the quick interviews, walking around talking to people, taking some just crowd videos and B-roll and that kind of stuff. But the plan is to use this as more of actually have it set up and bring people over and interview them at that spot. So we'll see how it goes. So if you are going to be in Richmond, let me know. Grab me. Feel free. I'm always happy to talk to people. Who knows? I may end up interviewing you and showing it on the channel. But yeah, I look forward to seeing everybody there. And I'm excited. I'm going to be primarily doing side events. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I look forward to, oh my gosh, it's like 2 or 3 days away. It's kind of crazy. All right. Well, I'll see you all there. Thanks.